I think so. I think they're just, yeah.
You got 5 minutes. If you start now, you could.
She took a picture of like, here's my ending. So when I start getting busy, she would just spend the last in there and then finish.
everyone. Good morning, everyone. How's everybody doing this morning? It's beautiful outside, sun is shining. It's good pool weather is what it is. Good morning, good morning. So, Amber bought me one of those food savers at a garage sale. You've seen those things? Man, that thing is so cool. I'm saving everything. Boy, she's like, I'm pulling stuff out of the freezer. It's just cool. I got one. Has nothing to do with the service at all. I just thought I'd let y'all know that I got a food saver at a garage sale. But welcome. We're glad you're here this morning. If you're joining us online, we want to say welcome to you as well. If you'd put an emoji in there and let us know that you're with us. We are going to get started this morning. The goodness of God fills all the gaps in the universe without discrimination or without preference. God is the goodness of absolutely everything. God is the goodness glue, the love that holds the dark in love and alive. Grace is not something God gives. Grace is who God is. Let's sing this song together. Great is your faithfulness, oh God. You wrestle with a restless heart. You lead us by still waters into mercy. And nothing can keep us apart. So remember your people, remember your children, remember your promise, oh God. Your grace is enough, your grace is enough, your grace is enough for me.
Great is your love and justice, God. You use the weak to lead the strong.
You lead us in the song of your salvation.
And all your people sing along.
So remember your people, remember your children, remember your promise, oh God. Your grace is enough, your grace is enough, your grace is enough for me. Sing that again, your grace. Your grace is enough. Your grace is enough. Your grace is enough for me. So remember your people. Remember your children. Remember your promise, oh God. Your grace is enough. Your grace is enough. Your grace is enough for me. Your grace is enough. I'm covered in your love. Your grace is enough for me.
Well, good morning, everyone. Good to see all the faces here in this space with us and feel that energy of those who are connecting with us through our live YouTube or Facebook channel. We're glad that we can be together today. So I had a little story I wanted to share with you real quickly, and this one does kind of have something to do with the service today. I had an experience this past week where I was going out for lunch. I wasn't sure what I wanted to get. So I kind of made this loop out here along the service drive as I'm coming back down Glade. I'm on, okay, that's what I want. I haven't had it in a couple years. I'm going to get a Freddy's Kids Burger. So I turn, go, it's over here in this little strip center, go in, get in the drive-through line and pull up, and I'm looking at the menu to order, and I'm very confused because I don't see burgers anyway. And the woman comes on, she goes, what can I get you today? And I'm like, well, don't y'all carry burgers anymore? And she goes, ma'am, you're in the Slotchkie's line, not the Freddy's line. Now, trust me, I became very self-aware of how quickly my feelings morphed from being confused to being embarrassed in this moment. I went, oh, okay, thank you. So then I realized now I'm going to have to sit in this line. There's 2 cars ahead of me. There's a truck behind me. There's cement curbs that close me into this. And the first thing I did was go, God, you're a silly human. And I started to smile and to laugh and then go, well, I'm here now. So I started responding to some texts that I had and using it, went back around. So then I had to come and tell myself to Mary when I got back. And thankfully, she's a partner that she'll laugh with me at the stuff that we do. And smiling and laughing when we find ourselves being foolish and flawed and not present. That was what the issue was for me. My brain was off somewhere else, and they are right next to each other, just to give myself a little credit, but I obviously wasn't paying close enough attention. So we're going to get more into how we can manage those feelings when they show up, and strategies that help us not live in that space of darkness that shows up oftentimes where we're beating ourselves up for the stupid stuff that we do. But before we do that, we're going to sing another song.
Breathe on me, breath of God. My spirit longs for you. Hide me in your fathering arms. Fill up my longing soul. Flood over me like a river, my God. Immerse me in your living stream. Awaken the song that you placed in my heart. Spirit, breathe on me. Spirit, breathe on me. Breathe on me, breath of God. Burn bright eternal fire. Spirit, draw me near to your heart. You are my one desire. And flood over me like a river, my God. Immerse me in your living stream. Awaken the song that you placed in my heart. Spirit, breathe on me. Spirit, breathe on me.
Good morning. I'm Barbara. This is June. We are part of your care team. We will be available following the church service for about 15 to 20 minutes if anyone would like us to pray with them. And the word for today is prosperity. I focus on the goodness of God and know prosperity.
Sometimes I may worry, wondering if I will have enough of what I need. If thoughts of lack or limitation arise, I lift my thoughts from the things of the world to the truth of God. I focus my mind on the richness of divine life within me. I feel calm and assured as I remember I live in an abundant universe and I am heir to everything God is. Even when my worldly fortunes shift, I am abundant in spirit. As I align my thinking with divine mind in prayer, I become receptive to divine ideas that prosper me. I claim prosperity and feel empowered as I do. My prosperity stems from my oneness with God. I count my blessings, feel grateful, and trust with understanding faith I have enough.
They feast on the abundance of your house, and you give them drink from the river of your delights. Psalm 36, verse 8.
Our healing prayer today, we just allow ourselves to continue to be in that energy of abundance of life, that life that is eternal and whole and complete, abundance of love in the relationships that we engage in our world, abundance of divine ideas and wisdom that guide us through our decisions and our choices, abundance of light that we each add to the world. For all of those prayers that we hold in this ministry, for those that we hold in our hearts and in our minds, we affirm that the abundance of God is present in this moment. And as we each and all of the individuals for whom we pray tap into that, miracle upon miracle unfolds. And for this we say thank you. Thank you, God. Amen. Thank you. So, emotional intelligence, which has been and will be our topic for the month of June, so that we can more easily be in that space of those positive emotions for ourselves, but also to share with our world. Jesus said, "Let your light shine." Well, the light ain't shining when we're upset. The light ain't shining when we're mad. The light isn't shining when we're worried. So these are skills to help us stay in that space more often so that we are better able. It often develops naturally with life experiences, with hard earned wisdom. That black and white lens that we knew so adamantly as teenagers softens, grays, expands in the perspectives that we can see life through. Oftentimes, compassion grows for others who are struggling, perhaps in the same way. Strength muscles are built. With each challenge, each success, each failure, we get stronger and wiser. You know, there is some truth to you get wiser as you get older, and it's mainly because you've had so many experiences that guided you to be able to engage and see things differently. You know, I mentioned a few weeks ago that our oldest granddaughter has just graduated from high school. And I would say for the last 4 to 5 years, we would periodically, and we still do periodically, get a text from our oldest daughter, her mom. And it usually goes like this. It says, "Remember when I," and then, you know, you fill in the blank. One recently, "Remember I said you were stupid and you knew nothing about what is best for me when you were trying to give me some advice? Sorry about that." So with each hard-earned wisdom experience that she's had with her teenage daughter, she can see a little more clearly about perhaps, and it also can remind her, I was once there, and have some understanding and compassion for that absolutist lens that most teenagers step into the world. For many of us, our emotional intelligence develops through that uncomfortable and painful experiences we have in life. And just imagine how much more proficient we can be when we intentionally understand and seek strategies about how we can stay in this expanded perspective, in this space of connectedness, and in this awareness that we are spiritual beings, light beings, Christed beings, having this human experience. And even the harder part, where we'll get into in the next few weeks, everyone else is too. Last week, we explored ways that we can become more self-aware of what's going on within us emotionally. I talked about, you know, most people, when you ask, well, how are you feeling? It's hard for them to even tap into a real feeling. You hear, oh, I'm fine, I'm okay, I'm good, you know. And so that's part of it. And there's lots of resources out there. You know, I'm sharing out of this Emotional 2.0 book, Emotional Intelligence 2.0, but boy, just Google it. Somebody sent me a couple of videos that are out there on Insight Timer that go into this some more. But what we're looking at today is self-management. We're aware now, that really pushed my buttons. That set me off into a trajectory of feeling that I don't want to hang out in for too long. So how is it that we can move ourselves out of that experience as quickly as possible? So self-management is our ability to use the awareness of our emotions to actively choose what we say and do. A lot of what we experience through our day is our default. We're not consciously going, I'm feeling this. They're saying that. How am I going to respond? We oftentimes just react. It's more than the ability to just take a deep breath, although that's a really good strategy to start. You know, when your emotions have amped up, being able to take a deep breath is an opportunity to have at least a momentary reset, if you will. Because it's not just about putting a lid on the eruption that's coming out of the volcano, if you want to use that as an example. It's recognizing that before that eruption ever happens, there are lots of rumblings, there are lots of activity going on underneath the surface, and probably whatever that event was that caused the eruption really had more to do with however that was flowing within up until that moment. Self-management helps us to build upon those foundational skills of being self-aware. And that's important because you can only choose how to respond in any given situation when you're aware, when you're present and aware of what's going on within you. When you understand your own emotions and can respond to them in a way that you choose to, you have the power to take control of difficult situations. You can react more nimbly to change as it's showing up in your life, and to choose more positively and more productively how to react when things show up in life. The book that I'm using has 17 different strategies, and I'm only going to share a few of those today. And their number one is also this idea of breath. You know, we talk about breath. All right, take a deep breath in. One, breath brings you to the present moment. It's hard when you're breathing and you're focused on that to be somewhere in the future or somewhere in the past. So it sort of brings you to center. And it's important to your brain. What they're discovering is that 20% of your oxygen supply is necessary for your brain to function fully. When you're breathing in, the first part goes to the body and managing the body. So if you're breathing shallowly, you're keeping the body functioning, but the brain is not getting the oxygen that it needs to fully be able to process. It works best, they say. Remember in when you were young, it's like count to 10 when you're really upset. All right, I want you to breathe and count to 10. It's a similar practice because it takes that rhythm of breathing and just being present to 10. It re-engages your brain, not just your emotional body. It re-engages your brain in the process, and you have a much better chance then of coming to an awareness of what's going on within you, and then from there being able to choose. It may not always be feasible. You know, you're sitting in a meeting and somebody says something that just pushes your button, and you're like, all right, I'm gonna, you can't sit there. 1, 2. Now, what you can do is excuse yourself, like, oh, could I just have a break, to go to the bathroom, and then go sit in there and do it. Or I loved what they suggested, have a drink with you. You can't respond when you're having a drink. So it's like, and people aren't expecting you to talk when you're having a drink. So just take a few moments to have a few sips of your drink to give you a chance before you move into reacting. One of the other strategies is smiling and laughing. Just like that little story I was sharing with you, when we can get to that place where we can put a smile on our face, or even force a smile on our face, or be able to laugh at something, even if it's going and finding a cute kitten video out there on YouTube for a few minutes, it sends signals to the brain about your emotional state. It starts to send signals. Oh, we're happy, we're smiling. Oh, we're laughing. And it changes the chemistry that starts and has been flooding through your body, at least temporarily. I will tell you that the best friends that I've had for decades are the ones, and Mary, I'm going to count her as one of those, the ones that I can talk about how stupid and foolish I've been, and they will laugh with me. It's like sometimes they say you're either laughing or you're crying about it, and laughter is a much better opportunity for your body then and your mind to be able to connect to a different solution. We've talked about this before. Sleep is really critical too. It takes 8 to 9 hours of sleep for your nervous system to move out of that high stress, sympathetic, nervous, cortisol producing, stress driven cycle that most of us live a lot of our day in. So that the parasympathetic comes in, we can access all that wonderful knowledge and wisdom that we have up in our prefrontal cortex. So you want to be able to get a good night's sleep. Have you ever noticed that when you've had a good night's sleep that things kind of shift a little bit? They aren't quite as dramatic or as emotional engaging as they were the day before. Mentally, the ability for us to remain flexible and open-minded really increases our ability to be present in an emotionally intelligent way. It delves into the spiritual lens that, and it is this basic core belief system that no one and nothing is against us. Or as they put it in the book, they describe it as understanding that everyone you encounter has something valuable to teach you. So part of that is just, oh, there's something here for me. Doesn't matter what the situation is, there's something here that I can seek to engage with, to expand, and to be able to embrace, and to be that presence and light in the midst of it. Everyone has something to teach us. Everyone is a gift. Every situation can be, when we can choose to embrace it that way. So we're going to move into a time of meditation, a time where we just bring our attention inward and see if we can have a small experience of this in these next few minutes. So you may want to close your eyes or just gaze at some fixed point in the room so that all of your attention begins to move inward. And we always start with that breath. Taking a nice deep breath in. And then as you let go of that breath, also let go of any stress that you might be holding in your body. With another breath in, perhaps letting go of any thoughts that have been holding you in this moment about the past or the future. And just be present. And see as you continue to breathe that connection between the intelligent part of us and between our heart space is now clear and open, easily able to communicate with each other, to share information. Now see if you can't bring to mind a time when a conversation immediately put you on the defensive. There you were, ready for battle, gripping your sword and your shield. Maybe it was someone who criticized you, or a colleague that strongly disagreed with you, or perhaps someone even questioned your motives. Whatever it was for you. And just invite that short reliving of that time into this space and to breathe into it, recognizing what you're feeling as a result of that interchange. Just paying attention to what thoughts might be floating through your mind. And then in this wisdom of the heart, ask it, what is this here to teach me? What is this experience inviting me into a greater awareness and expression of who I've come here to be? You might want to call upon that feeling of curiosity, like, I wonder what was going on with them that they would say that or act like that. maybe even try and stretch our perspective and put ourselves in their shoes and see through their lens. Perhaps it's just greater clarity and understanding. Just sit quietly and allow this inner wisdom to move and speak into the mind of your heart as we spend just a moment in the silence. And now take a moment and just see if you can't bless this experience and bless the person who came to offer it to you as a gift, whether they were aware of it or not. To give thanks for new understanding, for clarity about how you move forward with this in your own life. And for that indwelling light that we call the Christ, that shines a light on all of our challenges and struggles, to lead us, to guide us, to encourage us, and to enliven us to be the Christ unto our world. And as you take one more deep breath, whenever you're ready, you can begin to bring your attention back to this room and to the sounds that are around you, and maybe stretch your body out a little bit. And whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes. So here's what I've discovered in my almost 65 years, and 25, actually more than that, but 25 in Unity, but several decades on this spiritual journey, is no matter how skilled you become at any of these emotional, mental, intellectual, or spiritual qualities, there's always going to be situations that push your buttons. Sorry, that's the bad news. When there's not, then you're probably going to float away on into a new dimension. You won't need to be here anymore. Your life is not going to morph into some fairy tale devoid of obstacles and challenges. But developing these skills will equip you with everything you need, and this is just one little slice of a big pie, to take the wheel and choose the direction that you go with those challenges and those obstacles. You know, I remember when I first found Unity and I took a 4T class, and the first week they're like, you know, this is going to give you everything you need to know to live an abundant, happy life. And I'm like, finally, give me the instructions. What are they? Okay, step one, you do this, and then you do that, and then you do that. And yet, my life, for certain, has still been filled with difficulties, grief, failures. In the past 25 years, I've experienced deep loss. It's a part of this life of both my dad and my stepson, and many dozens of people that I've walked with as they've transitioned to the other side. I've lived through bankruptcy. I've had loved ones who have experienced deep and lasting traumas. I've gotten divorced and remarried to the same man. I've only been married to one man, but we've done it twice. You know, it just took us a little while to figure it all out. And yet, I can't imagine what a mess I would have been if I would have not discovered these truths and these principles and these practices that let me walk through them with as much grace as possible. This is the core of what Jesus came to tell us. You know, there's lots of different slices to this, but it all boils down to ultimately being able to forgive ourselves and others, to have compassion and kindness, especially for ourselves and others as part of this journey, to remember our oneness with each other, to have these practices like meditation that give us a little refuge, a little peace every now and then from all the stuff that happens in our life. You know, the final practice that the book suggests is to accept that change is just around the corner. This is the hardest one. God, it's like I just get it right and everything's all good and everything's rolling along just fine. But we have to admit to ourselves that even the most stable and trusted facets of our life are not completely under your control. No matter how skilled you are at any of this, stuff's going to happen. People change, businesses go through ebbs and flow. Things don't stay the same for long. It's the very nature of life itself that there's always change happening. And yet to know in the midst of it all that there is a place of peace within, a refuge that we can retreat to for a while. When we can live in the awareness that the whole universe is conspiring to support us, whether it feels like it in the moment or not, becomes that peace that passes all understanding.
When my mind is like a battlefield, my heart is overcome by fear, and hope seems like a ship that's lost at sea. My enemy is on every side, and I'm tempted to run and hide. Your gentle whisper reaches out to me. Peace holds me when I'm broken. Sweet peace that passes understanding. When the whole wide world is crashing down, I fall to my knees and breathe in your peace. Fiery arrows whistling, the terror of the night sets in, but I can feel your angels all around. I am resting underneath the shelter of your mighty wings. Your promises are where my hope is found. Peace holds me when I'm broken. Sweet peace that passes understanding. When the whole wide world is crashing down, I fall to my knees and breathe in your peace. You're the God that's never far. So I will not be afraid. 'Cause you always keep me safe in your arms. I remember who you are. You're the God who's never far. So I will not be afraid. God, you always keep me safe. You give me peace that holds me when I'm broken. Sweet peace that passes understanding. When the whole wide world is crashing down, I fall to my knees and breathe in your peace. Oh, I breathe it in.
Giving our music department a challenge. It's like, okay, here's what I'm talking about. Find some music that goes with that. But it's always perfect, it seems to me, when it shows up on Sunday. Well, it is our opportunity now to share of our financial good with this ministry. It is through the support of all of you and the other many channels that we make welcome into our ministry that we do all that is ours to do. In just a few moments, for those of you who are new, our ushers are going to come forward row by row and invite you to come up and to share your offering in the large basket and then receive an affirmation to support you this week from the smaller basket. And even if this isn't your Sunday to share or you give electronically, we just want you to come and be in that flow of giving and receiving, that flow of abundance, and feel that. And you can simply just put your hand over the basket, or there's little cards there, bless it however you want, and just be in that presence of knowing that good is flowing in and through our lives and in and through the lives of this ministry. So let us join together as we hold what we offer today in our hands and in our hearts and bless it together. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, Father, Mother God.
Good morning, everyone. It's great to see y'all's faces this morning. We'd like to welcome our visitors. My name is Matt Sweat. I'm on your board. And if you're watching us for the first time, we're glad you've chosen to join us. We invite you to visit our website and fill out the Connect card. If you're watching locally, we invite you to come visit us in person. If you are visiting us in person for the first time, please complete a visitor card found in the pew pocket in front of you and drop it in the box at the back of the sanctuary on your way out. Now, for this week's appreciation, last week we appreciated Mark Morris and Wes Crowder for the part they played in removing a tree and some branches that were down from the recent storms. This week we were blessed again with a crew who did some straightening up on the grounds. Ken Kaltoff, Harry Lantfit, and Bill Parks worked a good part of a day last week, trimming, removing vines that were overtaking some of our bushes, and generally improving the looks of our landscape. Working in the heat, and this heat, these gentlemen didn't miss a beat in their attempts to make us look good, which they did in wondrous ways. We're grateful to them for their role in saving us quite a bit of money in landscaping, as well as their dedication to our beautiful church home. And so, to Ken, Harry, and Bill, we love you, we bless you, we truly appreciate you, and we behold the Christ in you. Namaste. And then just one more quick announcement. We've been collecting as part of our community outreach that we're always doing. We've been collecting materials for the homeless to help them in this heat that's here and doesn't look like it's going anywhere anytime soon. So we have the materials together. If you would please stop by Fellowship Hall after the service for a few minutes and help put those packets together. And we truly appreciate you for that.
Here's what's coming up at Center of Unity. Join Corked for lunch at Empress of China, followed by 4 Old Broads at Runway Theater. RSVP by June 12th to Barbara Looters. Join the book club on Saturday, June 22nd at 11:30 a.m. online, where we will discuss Ron Rash's The Caretaker, a breathtaking love story and a searing examination of the acts we seek to justify in the name of duty, family, honor, and love. The Zoom ID is on the screen, or you can access it from our website or the COU app. Every Tuesday at 11:30 a.m. for the Metaphysical Bible Interpretation class, where we refocus our attention on the good that God is making available to us now. Each class is self-contained. The Zoom ID is on the screen, or you can access it from our website or the COU app. A care team member will be in the prayer room after service for 15 minutes to support you in prayer. The prayer room is located to the right side of the sanctuary.
There are multiple ways you can make a donation to Center of Unity. You can drop your donation off at the church, mail it to our P.O. Box, visit our website, or use the COU or Venmo app. Your continued support is greatly appreciated.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for joining us this week. I believe we're going to sing our kids in. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine.
All right, good morning, everybody. As you can see, we have a bunch of scientists with us today. Today they learned about polymer molecules. And Doc, were you going to share about that?
Today we had a plastic bag full of water, and we poked a pencil through it, and it didn't leak. Today we did the rubber ducky relay race.
All right. And so the lesson was the polymer molecules, how they're made to make plastic, but it wraps around like God is always around us. That was the object lesson for that. Who else was sharing?
We read Psalms.
Which one?
2.
Two songs. Okay. All right. And I also want to thank the Thursday evening spirit group for their donations of like the little lab coats and things for the store. And then the second Saturday spirit group, because they put the first coat of paint in 2 of the classrooms. And so we're very, very appreciative of that. And if you like to paint, we got to put a second coat on the room sometime in the next week or 2. So just come see me after church and we'll figure it out. Thank you.
All right, so why don't we go ahead and stand up? Let's join hands and let's do our peace song together. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as our Father, family all are we. Let me walk with my family in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
And as we go into this week, not only being aware of our emotions, but helping to guide and direct them to add more light to the world, we go knowing our prayer for protection. Let's do it as a call and response. The light of God surrounds us.
I am the light of God.
The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Together, wherever we are, God is, and all is well. All right. Good morning.